Oh my god, was UFC 305 a disaster? We went 6-6 on the night in terms of fight picks. Our biggest win was Jesus Aguilar to win, but we've lost quite a bit of bets on that one. So we're looking to bounce back in UFC Fight Night. Jared Cannonier versus Caio Borralho. And we're getting straight into it with Kong Wang versus Victoria Leonardo. Not gonna stay too long on this one. Victoria is not UFC level. The most UFC level thing she's got is dressing up as Goku on our topology picture. But I think Kong Wang's stand-up is gonna be way too much and she's gonna win inside the distance. Moving on to the next fight, we got Ziggy Montas Ramaska versus Nathan Fletcher. And Ziggy Montas, I don't even know if I'm getting a name right. That alone is enough for me to pick against you. But Nathan Fletcher, he's a choke artist in the best possible way. Out of his 8 wins, 6 of them came by submission, and guess what? 4 came by way of rear naked choke. I see it going the exact same way on this one, and I think he's going to get the fight down to the ground and get a rear naked choke in there. So I think Nathan Fletcher is going to get the job done. Moving on to Josiane Nunes versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. And hey, Josiane Nunes is really small for the division. She packs up some power in her punches, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Jacqueline. I think Jacqueline is going to get the job done, and I think she's going to be doing it by decision. Not much to say here. It's women's MMA. Anything can go, so we're fading it. Moving on, we're going to watch Slava Claus fight. We got Vyacheslav Borshev looking to face James Lintop. And Borshev is coming off a really dominant loss to Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper took him down and mauled him. He even mauled him Khabib style, leaving a massive hematoma on his head. But Borshev, he looked a lot worse in that fight than what he actually is. He's a very talented fighter. Look at his draw against Nazim Sadikov. That showed how good his striking really is. He's a kickboxer after all. Once he keeps the fight standing, it's a different story. If you get him down to the ground, you can pretty much have your way with him. I don't think James is going to want to take this fight down to the ground. I don't think he's going to be successful, at least if he tries. And I think Borshev manages to beat him. He can either TKO him or he can win by decision. Moving on to the next fight, we got Jose Medina versus Zach Reese. And Zach Reese, the UFC is laying him up to get another early finish. I think Zach Reese gets it done under 1.5, and that's going to be one of my plays. Next up, we got Dennis Bazooka versus short notice replacement and Francis Marshall. Francis Marshall coming off a very dominant loss to Isaac Bulgarian. That's what Isaac Bulgarian's coming out party, really. And Dennis Bazooka is coming off such a clean knockout from Jamal Emmers. Granted, this is a short notice fight for Francis Marshall, but I think he is the better fighter. I think he gets the fight down to the ground. I think he dominates, and I think he wins, either by submission or decision. If it stays striking, Francis Marshall does pack some power in his punches, enough for Dennis Bazooka to step back. His chin has been cracked by Jamal Emmers. In my opinion, Jamal Emmers is not a finisher, so very suspect chin. Francis Marshall, the better fighter. He's going to be a pick. He's going to be a play. Moving on, we got Edmund Shabazian versus Jared Mearshart. And this fight, the odds confuse me because they are very heavily behind Edmund Shabazian. And Shabazian is really good in the first round, but after that, the fight changes. The dynamic of a fight changes. Jared Mearshart, his chin has been tested. His chin has been cracked. He has been put out early by fighters like Khamzat. But he can drag the fight into deeper waters where Edmund struggles. And Edmund, once he gets taken down to the ground, I think he's going to get choked out. My play is Jared Mearshart to win I'm placing half a unit on this because the value is way too good. I don't know why the bookies trust Edmund this much. We'll see if he proves me wrong on this fight pick. I got Jared Mershart to win, half a unit on it. Next up, we got Michael Morales versus Neil Magny. And listen, Michael Morales is the real deal. He's gonna prove that against Neil Magny. I think he gets the job done. And I also think he gets it done inside the distance. Moving on, we got Khan Offley versus Myron Santos. And I don't see this fight going the distance. I don't know much about these two fighters, to be completely honest. But I like Offley's style a lot more. So I'm giving him the pick for this one. Moving on, we got Ryan Lauder versus Robert Valentin. And again, this fight, I don't see it going the distance. And I think Valentin gets it done. Moving on to the co-main event of the evening, we have Angela Overkill Hill versus Tabitha Baby Shark Ricci. I think she's Angela over the hill. But I don't think she's that good, okay? She's beaten people that she had no business in beating, but she's also lost to people that she had no business in losing. Mackenzie Dern is a prime example. Look how good Mackenzie Dern's striking looked against Angela Overkill Hill. Tabitha Ricci's striking is really good. Her jiu-jitsu is really good. She's a well-rounded fighter. It wasn't shown that much in her last fight against Tisha Pennington. But trust me, she is really talented. At the women's strawweight division, I think she manages to get over the hill in this one. My play is Tabitha Ricci to win. Good value on it. And now we gotta move on to the main event of the evening. Jared Cannonier versus Caio Borralho. And all indications point to Caio Borralho getting it done. Jared Cannonier coming off a TKO loss to Nassourdine Imavov. And I think he's coming back a bit too quick. He's hard to finish. I don't think Borralho manages to get it done inside the distance, but I think he's gonna fight smart and get the job done, do everything he needs to do to get the fight finished. Not quite get it done. Pass 5 rounds and win a decision. And this has been my picks for UFC Fight Night. Jared Cannonier versus Caio Borralho. I don't really like this card, I will be honest. And we're getting a break, unfortunately, after this one. But we're going to be coming back with UFC after that, so I'm looking forward to that one. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think down below, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Twitter, support the channel on the Patreon, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, game time.